ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಜಿಲ್ಲಾ ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕ ಸಂವರ್ಧನಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಡಯಟ್ ಮಧುಗಿರಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಕೇರಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಲರ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಸಹಯೋಗದೊಂದಿಗೆ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಿರುವ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಇಂದಿನಿಂದ ಆಂಗ್ಲ ಭಾಷೆ ವಿಷಯದ ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭವಾಗಲಿದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಕಟ್ಲಿಂಗಪ್ಪ ಸರ್ ಅವರು, ಇವರು ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರು ಡಯಟ್, ಹಾಗೆ ಇವರು ನೋಡಲ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ತರಬೇತಿಗಳಿಗೆ. ಇವರಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇವರು ಈ ದಿನದ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳ ಪರಿಚಯನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂತ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಓವರ್ ಟು ಯು ಸರ್.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಮ್ಮ ಡಯಟ್ನ ಹಿರಿಯ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ CN ಕೃಷ್ಣಪ್ಪ ಸರ್ ಅವರೇ, ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರೇ, ಯಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಹುಳ್ಳಿಯವರೇ, ಹಾಗೂ ಈ ತರಬೇತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ 4 ಜನ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳೇ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಕೇರಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಲರ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡಯಟ್ ಇವರ ಸಹಯೋಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ತಂಡವನ್ನು ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋಂಥ ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ತರಬೇತಿಯನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಡಯಟ್ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೋರೋದಾದರೆ, ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಚೇತನ HK ಇವರು ಡಯಟ್ ಮಧುಗಿರಿಯ ವತಿಯಿಂದ, ಶುಕೂರ್ H ಡಯಟ್ ಮಧುಗಿರಿಯ ವತಿಯಿಂದ, ಹಾಗೂ ಕೃತಿ ಸತೀಶ್ ಕೇರಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಲರ್ಸ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಈ 4 ಜನರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಡಯಟ್ನ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಇದರ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು 4 ಜನ ಆದರೆ ಅದರ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಾಗಿ 14 ಜನರ ಶ್ರಮವೂ ಕೂಡ ಇರ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂತ ಶ್ರಮವನ್ನ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಯಟ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣಯ್ಯ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಡಯಟ್ ತುಮಕೂರಿನ ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಕೇರಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಲರ್ಸ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿ ವರ್ಗದವ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಇದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಯಶಸ್ವಿ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಭಾವಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುತ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ತುಂಬಾ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಸರ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಈಗ ಮಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್ 1 ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು. ಬನ್ನಿ ನೋಡೋಣ.
Good morning, one and all. I am Kriti, and today we will be looking into 4 topics, that is tenses, prepositions, articles, and subject-verb agreement. Throughout the module, you can look into 4 checkpoints, that is what we know, that is to know about the topic that we will be discussing. Then comes transaction ideas. These are some of the suggested ideas that you can take to your classroom directly and make the learning more interesting. And then we would be looking into what did we learn. That is just a recap of whatever we have learned in that section. Going forward, we will also look into fun with English section. That is, you might have some riddles or some interesting videos that you can look into in this section. So now we will be going forward with our module. Yesterday is a history. Tomorrow is a mystery. But today is a gift. Hence, it is called the present. Good morning once again. This is Kriti here. I wish to pass each moment of my life meaningfully. I live in the present, but I love the past. I love the nostalgia. I like reminiscing about the time in the past. This fills me with pleasure. I'm also a planner. All this reminiscing helps me to plan for the things that the future holds. When I'm remembering and reminiscing about the time that has already passed, it is in past tense. When I'm talking about today, it is in present tense. And when I plan and prepare for the future, it is in future tense. I am a teacher traveler. I'm here in search of interesting and unique activities that I can take back to my classroom to transact to my lovely learners. But to do that, I need to get past these locked doors. One of the doors here will lead me to the world of activities. But I do not have the key to the doors. Let me just find out the key. And I think the key is with one of the 3 doorkeepers here. To get the key from them, I need to talk to them. But there's something very peculiar about them. Let's ask a couple of questions and understand what is peculiar in them, and then also try to guess who might have the key. Let me check by asking each of them this question. What is your name?
My name was Past Man.
My name is Present Man.
My name will be Future Man.
Interesting, isn't it? Let me ask them one more question. Will you help me?
I had helped you.
I am helping you.
I will help you.
They surely talk in a peculiar manner. Let me just ask them who has the key. Do you have the key? Uh-oh. I cannot see their answers. Can you all imagine how they might have answered? If you guys have imagined their answers, then you people already know who has the key. Please help me know who actually has the key. Key is with the present doorkeeper. Yes, you are absolutely right. The key is with the present doorkeeper. Thank you, dear friends. Good job. You have helped me to find the key. Let me just open the door and get into the world of activities.
Ha. Welcome to the world of activities.
Who are you?
I am the genie of tenses. How may I help you?
Hello, Jeannie. I'm Kriti. I'm a teacher traveler. I'm in search of interesting activities to teach tenses. Do you know any ideas to teach tenses?
Yes, I have many ideas to transact tenses. Come, let's go to the activity.
Sure, Jeannie. Jeannie, I can see a grid here. What is it, Jeannie?
Kriti, this is a suggested idea which the learners would enjoy in playing in the classroom and learn about tenses at the same time. You start by creating a grid on the board like this. On the top, we have a bunch of pronouns. To our left, we have a bunch of verbal phrases. Any player playing on this grid must first choose a cell inside the grid. That cell will lead to its corresponding pronoun and corresponding verbal phrase. The player now should make use of both the pronoun and the verbal phrase and create a sentence. But that sentence should be in either of the tenses only. The teacher can choose the tense.
Jeannie, can you give me an example?
Yes, Kriti. If I give you the pronoun as she and the verbal phrase is meet friends and ask you to create a sentence using past tense, what would be your sentence?
She met friends. Am I right, Jeannie?
Yes, you are absolutely right, Kriti. The same steps can be repeated for all the 3 tenses.
Okay, Jeannie, this is an interesting game.
What do you see here, Kriti?
I can see a wristband and there are some icons on it. What is it, Jeannie?
Yeah, these are nothing but tense bands. Unlike the previous idea where the teacher decided the tense, here these tense bands help the class decide the tense or the round. The tense bands are nothing but a roll of paper wrapped around the wrist of a player like any wristband. This band will have three icons on it, each representing the three tenses. The player can randomly rotate the band to arrive at any tense. That will be the tense that the whole class will play for that round.
Oh, that's an interesting game, Jeannie. All I have to do is to rotate the band and choose the tense. Then pick a cell in the grid and change the tense.
Do you like to play with the dice, Kriti?
I love to play with dice, Jeannie.
Then here is another interesting game which we call roll and choose, pick and change. Here the players roll the dice which has the names of the tenses on its each side. The fourth side will have the words roll again. The learners roll this dice and consider the tense depending on what side the dice rolls facing up. Then the learners pick any sentence from the ice cream sticks and try to change those sentences into that tense.
Jeannie, can you give me an example?
Yeah, sure, Kriti. You just imagine that you have got future tense when you roll the dice and you choose the sentence, Nisha is painting. Now, can you change this sentence into future tense?
Sure, Jeannie. I think Nisha will be painting. Am I right, Jeannie?
Yes, you are absolutely right, Kriti.
That's an interesting and colorful activity, Jeannie.
Come, let's jump to the next activity. In this activity, learners listen to commands or directions given in English and respond using their bodily movements. The participants start by standing on the line drawn. The line represents the present tense. The area in front of the line would be the future tense, and the area behind the line would be the area of past tense. The teacher starts by reading a sentence. If the participant thinks the sentence is in future tense, then he or she jumps forward into the future tense area. If the sentence turns out to be in the past tense, then the participants jump behind the line into the past tense area.
This is very creative, Jeannie. My learners always want to hop around the classroom. This can be an interesting game for them. In fact, I'm going to take all of these activities back to my classroom, Jeannie, to my learners. They would really love it.
What did we learn? Let us now consolidate our learning on tenses. Let's summarize what we have learned so far. We know that every event happens in either of the three tenses broadly. If an event has already happened, it belongs to the past tense. And we use words like did, was, had, etc. But when an event is still in process and is still going on, we refer to it in the present tense with words like is, doing, having, am, is, are, etc. And if an event is yet to commence or yet to happen, we refer to it in the future tense and use words like will, shall, could, etc.
Come, let's have some fun here.
Sure, Jeannie.
Do you like riddles, Kriti?
I love riddles, Jeannie. Do you have one for me?
Yeah, I have a riddle for you.
What is it, Jeannie?
The riddle is, I have 3 letters, but pronounced as 1 letter. I am double, I am single, I am black, blue, and gray. I am a part of your body, and I am the first thing that people see in you. What am I, Kriti?
I have 3 letters pronounced as 1 letter, double, single, black, blue, gray. This is very confusing, Jeannie. Can I take the help of my dear friend Chetana here?
Yeah, you can take the help of Chetan also.
Chetana, can you please help me?
Sure, Kriti, I will help you.
Chetana, do you need options?
Yes, Kriti, I can't guess the answer. So I need some options here. Jeannie, can I have some options?
Yeah, sure, Chetana. Here are some options for you.
Head, ear, eye, toe, eye. Sorry, Kriti, I can't guess the answer.
That the answer is I. Is it correct, Jeannie?
Yes, you are right, Kriti.
How is it, Jeannie?
See, here, eyes can be black, and some eyes are blue and brown as well. The letters in the word I, E-Y-E are 3, but we have only one pronunciation of I.
That's an interesting puzzle, Jeannie. I really love the riddle. And thank you so much for suggesting so many wonderful ideas. I will definitely take it back to my classroom and I'll make it a part of my daily routine to have one activity a day. Thank you, Jeannie.
Hello, Jeannie. Can I know more about prepositions?
Sorry, Chetana. I am unable to tell about preposition. My friend Jeannie of preposition is the right person to help you. You can go and meet her.
Thank you, Jeannie. Hello, Jeannie of preposition. Can you please tell me more about prepositions?
Hello, my dear teacher traveler. Yes, sure. I will let you know more about prepositions. First, let me take you to my room. And my room is called as Room of Prepositions. Prepositions are the words that tell us or inform us about the position of objects. Like here, prepositions help us convey that some things are kept on the bed, some things are kept on the floor, but beside the shelves, some things are on the wall and some things are on the table. Chetana, can you help me find my red book?
Yes, Jeannie, your red book is on the table, Jeannie.
Oh, yeah, I found it now. Thank you, Chetana. I can't find my bag. Can you help me find my bag, Chetana?
Your bag is beside the ball, Jeannie.
Oh, yeah, it is here. Thank you so much, Chetana. Come, let me take you outside and introduce you to some wonderful activities. On the way to our activity world, I want you to just follow the cat here. The name of this cat is Kitty. I sometimes find my cat Kitty above the mailbox. And sometimes I find him sitting on the mailbox. And being the mischievous self of the cat, he will be in the mailbox sometimes. Sometimes he'll be wandering, sitting under the mailbox. And sometimes he will be just below the light. And most of the time, I find him beside his other friend. Chetana, what do you see here?
There are some colorful basic shapes, Jeannie.
Yeah, these are some of the basic shapes that we use every day. I had asked you to carry a notepad and a pen with you. I hope you have carried it with you.
Yes, Jeannie.
Okay, then it's time for you to take it out and just follow my instructions and draw accordingly. Is that okay with you, Chetana?
Yes, Jeannie.
Okay. Here comes your first instruction. I think you can also ask all your teacher friends to draw with you. Okay?
Okay, Jeannie.
Yeah. Along with Chetana, I would request all our teacher friends here to just take out your notepad and pen and follow my instructions and draw accordingly. So here comes the first instruction, and it says, start by drawing a triangle in the middle of the page. I want you all to start by drawing a triangle in the middle of the page. Then draw a small circle inside the triangle. Draw a small circle inside the triangle. Then draw a square below the triangle as big as the triangle itself. Draw a square below the triangle as big as the triangle itself. Then draw a vertical rectangle inside the square on the base of the square. Draw a vertical rectangle inside the square on the base of the square. Then draw two identical curved lines beside each other below the square. I want you all to draw two identical curved lines beside each other below the square. I hope you have all finished your first sketch. Chetana, have you finished your sketch?
Yes, Jeannie.
Can you please show it to me?
Here it is, Jeannie.
Oh, you have got a nice house. That's wonderful, Chetana. Shall I give you one more sketch to draw?
Yes, Jeannie, I'm ready. But I want to add my friend Maria also to join with me.
Sure, Chetana.
Maria,
Hi, Chetana.
could you please join with me and draw a sketch?
Sure, I'd love to.
We are ready, Jeannie.
Sure, Chetana. Chetana and Mariam. Now, I want you both to listen to my instructions very carefully and draw accordingly. Okay?
Okay.
So here comes your first instruction. Start by drawing a large circle in the middle of the page. Can you start by drawing a large circle in the middle of the page? Now, draw a medium-sized inverted triangle over the top of the circle. But make sure one of its corner must be inside the circle and the other two corners must be on the outside. Draw a medium-sized inverted triangle over the top of the circle, but one of its corner must be inside the circle and the other two corners must be on the outside. Now, draw two small circles beside each other inside the triangle. Draw two small circles beside each other inside the triangle. Draw two medium-sized circles on the upper two corners of the triangle. Draw two medium-sized circles on the upper two corners of the triangle. Draw two small straight lines on either sides of the large circle. Draw two small straight lines on either sides of the large circle. Now, draw two more small parallel straight lines on the bottom of the large circle. Draw two more small parallel straight lines on the bottom of the large circle. Chetana and Maria, have you finished your sketch?
Yes, Jeannie, I finish.
I have finished it too.
Very good. Before I ask you both to show your sketches, Chetana, can you see some of the words in yellow color here?
Yes, Jeannie.
Can you please read it out for me?
Okay. In, top, inside, outside, beside, on, and bottom.
Very good. These are nothing but prepositions. You can use them in your instructions and ask your learners to draw accordingly. Chetana, can you show me your sketch?
Here it is, Jeannie.
Oh, you have got a big fat rat. Very good. Maria, can you show me your sketch?
Here it is, Jeannie.
Maria, what is your rat doing?
He must have fallen down because he's eaten so much. All thanks to the lockdown.
This doesn't look like a lockdown effect to me. This looks like you haven't followed my instructions correctly. Am I right, Maria?
Maybe, Jeannie.
Maria, make sure that you follow the instructions properly next time, okay?
Sure, Jeannie, I will.
Chetana, these are some of the suggested images that you and your teacher friends can use in your classroom to teach children prepositions. All you have to do is use prepositions in the instructions. And as in if you think that the learners are getting good at understanding prepositions, you can make this activity more challenging by choosing more challenging shapes, more challenging instructions, and using more and more prepositions.
Thank you, Jeannie. These are very attractive, but these activities are fine in a classroom for majority of the class. But in a classroom, what if there are children with different needs?
That's an interesting question, Chetana. As a teacher and as a facilitator, it becomes responsibility to prepare activities with everyone in mind and everyone's learning in mind. So you can use hardboard cutout of shapes which visually challenge learners can touch and feel and identify the shapes and follow the same instructions and carry out the activity with everyone else, just like everyone else. Alternatively, sandpapers can also be used to cut out the above mentioned shapes, which will provide a good tactile feel to the learners who can then touch the surface and the edges, identify the shape, and play with prepositions with everyone. Chetana, till now we have used prepositions to identify the location of a new object, isn't it?
Yes, Jeannie.
Now, let us look at the new idea which can be played as a group or a team. This can be played in a classroom with all the students participating in it. We start by drawing a fish bowl in the center of the board. And what if I instruct that the fish bowl is on a table? What would you do, Chetana?
Jeannie, I will draw a table on the board and make the fish bowl sit on it.
Very good. When I say the fish bowl is on the table, all you need to do is to draw a table and make the fish bowl sit on it. Now just follow my instructions carefully, Chetana. The fish are in the bowl. There are fish in the bowl. The table is between two chairs. A panda is behind the table. A cat under the table. And a cup in front of the table. Very good.
Very nice, Jeannie. This is a nice group activity where individual learners can be encouraged to reinforce their understanding about the preposition by contributing their understanding in the form of a turn-based activity.
You are absolutely right, Chetana. What can you see here?
It is looking like a train, Jeannie.
Yes, you are right. This is called as preposition train. You start by the first compartment of the train. You roll the dice and move along the different compartments by solving one question at a time. Each box has a question regarding the prepositions of place. For example, if I say, I like to sit dash Sahana, what would you fill in the blank, Chetana?
I like to sit beside Sahana.
Very good. Just like that, once you get the answer correct, you can roll the dice again and move forward and reach the last compartment of the train. This activity can also be carried out on the classroom floor by drawing a series of boxes. Chetana, just imagine that you have recently won a jackpot and you have got crores of rupees as the jackpot money. What would you purchase, Chetana?
Jeannie, I purchased so many things that may be jewels, electronic gadgets, bike, washing machine, LED TV, and fridge also.
Very nice. Chetana, tell me one thing. Where would you place your electronic gadget in your home?
Jeannie, I will place electronic gadgets on the table.
And what about your fridge?
I keep the fridge inside the kitchen.
And what about your jewels?
It is secret, Genie. Why should I tell you?
Very brilliant. Just like you did not tell me, don't tell it to others also. Okay, Chetana?
Okay, Genie.
Yeah. Just like I asked you to imagine that you have won a jackpot and to list out the items that you would purchase using the jackpot money, you can also ask your learners to do the same. And then ask them to draw a blueprint of their house and place all the items that they have purchased. And then you can ask them where they have placed the items that they have purchased. Okay?
Okay.
Chetana, I wanted to buy some toys. Can you please help me find those toys in this toy store?
Sure, Genie.
The first thing in my list is a wooden horse. Can you please help me find the wooden horse, Chetana?
The wooden horse. Wooden horse is there, Genie.
Where, Chetana?
There it is only.
I can't find it, Chetana. Where is it?
Oh, do you want the exact position of the wooden horse, Genie?
Yes, I want the exact position, Chetana.
Let me take my friend's help, Genie.
Sure.
Friends, please help me to tell the exact position of the wooden horse to Genie. Genie, my friends are answering that the wooden horse is behind the paint canvas. Is it?
Yeah, I found it, Chetana. Yes, they're absolutely right. The wooden horse is just behind the paint canvas. Chetana, I want you to find one more toy for me. That's a toy truck. Can you please find that for me?
Toy truck. The toy truck is there, Genie.
Where, Chetana?
Again, I will take the help of my friends, Genie.
Sure.
Friends, please help me to tell the exact position of the toy truck to Genie. Let me know your answers through upcoming poll question.
Dear teacher friends, this is one more poll question for you. And please help Chetana tell Jeannie the exact position of the toy truck. The toy truck is dash the conveyor belt. Please let us know your answer through the poll section itself. I would request you all to avoid chat section and answer the question through the poll window. All you have to do is to select the option and hit the submit button. I can see most of our teachers have already submitted their answers. I would request rest of them to select the option that they think is the right and then hit the submit button. I would request you all to avoid the chat section and let us know your answer in the poll window. Last 30 seconds. Teachers, please hurry up. You have 30 more seconds with you. And the poll ends now.
Jeannie, the toy truck is under the conveyor belt. Is it
Mm,
right, Jeannie?
let's check, Chetana. The toy truck is under the conveyor belt. Yes, they're absolutely right, Chetana. Thank you, friends. Thank you, Chetana. Chetana, I have one last toy that I want. Okay. And that is a red dartboard. Can you help me find the red dartboard, Chetana?
Yes, Jeannie. Jeannie, the dartboard is in front of the sketch of the bear, Jeannie.
The dartboard is in front of the sketch of the bear. Yes, I found it, Chetana. Thank you so much. You helped me a lot today. Chetana, how about some homework?
No, Jeannie, I don't like homework. Can I ask my friend Shukur to help me with homework?
Sure, you can.
Shukur, could you please help me to do homework?
Yes, Chetana, I will help you.
Thank you, Shukur.
Okay then, Chetana and Shukur, take your notebooks out and take down your homework. Till now, we have been discussing and playing with many different prepositions. Here are a couple of more prepositions. They are over, across, under, and beneath. The task for you and all your teacher friends is that you should look for the differences and similarities between these prepositions after today's session. You can cross-check your findings with the help of the post-training reading material that will be circulated at the end of the session.
So let us now look back at what we have learned about prepositions. Prepositions help us in knowing the object and its location or position with respect to its surroundings. Prepositions that we have discussed here help us paint the picture of a scene by telling us the physical location of an object in its surroundings through verbal medium or through text.
We have reached the end of the world of prepositions.
But Jeannie, where does this door lead to?
Oh, this door. This door leads to the world of articles, where my genie friend, the genie of article, resides. It's been so long that I have visited her world.
Oh, that's great. I would love to learn more about articles.
Sure, you can go and meet my friend, the genie of articles. She would definitely help you.
Hello, Genie of Articles.
Hello, Shukur, and welcome to the world of articles.
Thank you, Genie. Genie, I wanted to know more about articles, and I was wondering if you could suggest me some activity ideas to teach articles for my learners.
Sure, come, let's meet my friends. Meet Miss Anne. She is the most finicky of the three articles, but she's also a kind-hearted article, just as the other two, but is a bit choosy. If you are a word and if you want to make friends with her, you better start with a vowel. She likes to hang around with words that start with vowels. And going with her popularity among vowels, she is also the chairman of the Vowel Association.
Hello, Miss Anne.
Now, from one popular article to another. This is Mr. A. Now, Mr. A is an always trending celebrity among the biggest group in the world. That is the consonants. If you are among those millions of words which start with a consonant, then he is your guy to hang out with. Between Miss Anne and Mr. A, he is currently leading with the largest number of followers, all thanks to the huge number of words that start with consonants.
Hello, Mr.
Well, last but not the least, this is Mr. The. He is the godfather of the articles and enjoys the utmost respect in the community of words. He is also one among the nicest gentlemen. He has such respect in the world that in order to make friends with him, you need a recommendation letter from either a or an. Only and only if you prove that you are friends with any of these two articles that you are allowed to meet Mr. The. In the world of words, he is currently leading with the largest number of followers because the followers of both a and an follow Mr. The.
Hello, Mr. The. Jeannie, I don't know much about definite and indefinite articles. Can you tell me?
Sure, Shukar. Now, the three articles can be divided as definite and indefinite articles. A and an are the indefinite articles, but the is the definite article. When the indefinite articles a and an refer to something, they don't tell us specifically who they refer to. But the definite article the makes it specific.
Jeannie, take this. I have got watermelon for you from my world. But should I call this as an watermelon, a watermelon, or the watermelon?
Let's see. Now, the indefinite article a is used for words starting with a consonant or a consonant sound, as in a cup, a watermelon, or a man. Now, the indefinite article an is used before words that start with vowel or vowel sounds, as in an umbrella, an orange, or an ant. But on the other hand, the definite article the is used to refer to the same object that a or an have already specified, as in the cup, the watermelon, the man, the orange, etc. The vowel or the consonant from which the word starts does not affect the use of the.
Jeannie, you had told me that the definite article the has some exclusive friends. Who are they?
Well, these exclusive friends of the are rare and one of a kind things. Such things usually do not go with a or an, but are always accompanied by the, hence making them unique, as in the Taj Mahal, the university, the earth, the Mount Everest, the Himalayas, etc.
Jeannie, do you have any activity idea to teach articles?
Yes, Let's go through some of the transaction ideas for articles. The name of this activity is Teacher Says. This is inspired by the activity Simon Says, which is famous among teachers of English. Here, the teacher gives instructions to the learners and the learners follow them accordingly. Now, for example, the first instruction could be, teacher says, touch a bag. The learner would run and touch a bag. It can be any bag because the teacher has said a bag, which is indefinite and not specific. Well, now that I have explained how this activity is transacted, let us try it once. I want you to tell me the answer. The question is, in the activity of Teacher Says, if Kashvi is instructed, teacher says, touch a nose, what will Kashvi do? These are two options for us. A, she will touch her nose. B, she will touch her friend's nose. Or C, either of the two above.
I am not able to guess the right answer here, Ginny. Can I take the help of my teacher friends?
Sure, Shukur, you can.
Thank you, Ginny. My dear teacher participants, please answer to this question and select the right option and submit your answers. The question will appear on your screen now. Please select your option and submit.
Friends, please let us know your answer through the poll window. I would request you all to avoid the chat box and select the option in the poll window and hit the submit button. I can see most of our teachers have already answered, and I would request the rest of them to just select the option that they think is the right and then hit the submit button. Dear friends, you have last 30 seconds before we close the poll. So take an opportunity to just select the option and hit the submit button. And the poll ends now.
Ginny, most of my friend says that the answer, that is option C, is right. Some of said A also right. C is right. Is it correct, Ginny?
Well, Shukur, all of them are correct because the teacher did not specify which nose. She just said a nose. So Kashvi can touch her nose, her friend's nose, or both.
So now, let us just take a look at what we have learned about articles.
Hi, Maria.
Articles are those special words which help us refer to things that we want to talk about in definite or indefinite way, where the is the definite article and a and an being the indefinite ones.
Hi, Shukur. What are you doing in the world of articles?
Hi, Maria. I was learning more about articles.
Well, I have a question that's been bothering me for a long time. Can I ask you?
Yeah, sure, Maria.
Would it be right if I add the before United States of America and say the United States of America is a large country?
I think that would be right.
Okay, then it should be okay to add the before India and say the India is a large country.
But that sound very incorrect. But I don't know why. Isn't it, Ginny?
Yes, you are absolutely right. You cannot use the before India. Interesting little puzzle, isn't it? I know some of our participants might already know the reason, but to those who are curious about the answer, they can find out the answer to this question in the post reading material, which will be circulated after our today's session ends.
We is reading. We is reading. We is reading.
Maria, what are you saying? Repeat it again.
We is reading.
Something is wrong. Don't you think so?
I don't know, Jeannie.
Let us figure it out. When we look at any sentence, we look for two important things in it. The first being verb and the second being the subject. The verb in a sentence tells us what is happens in the sentence, whereas the subject gives us the information of who is doing the task. In this sentence, we can see that it is the children who are doing the task and reading the book is the task that is going on. Let us come back to this sentence after we have discussed a bit more about what exactly is subject-verb agreement.
Okay.
Let us first go through some simple sentences and try to practice identifying the subject and the verb. At the same time, let us also try to figure out any hints or clues about what subject-verb agreement could mean. Here is your first sentence, Maria, that is, he is singing. Can you identify the subject and the verb here?
Yes. I think I can identify he as the subject and singing as the verb.
Very good, Maria. Here is another sentence for you, that is, they are singing. Can you identify the subject and verb?
Yes. I can see that the subject here is they and the verb here is singing. But I noticed that are is used in this sentence, unlike the previous sentence where is was used.
Very good observation, Maria.
Thank
I
you.
have one more sentence for you. The family is singing. Do you can identify the subject and the verb?
I think is used again with the family being the subject and singing being the verb.
You are right, Maria. Let us look at some other sentences and try to figure it out if the subject and the verb agree in these sentences. Let us look at the first question. Rustam and Sahrab is going trekking. Can you identify the subject and the verb?
Here Rustam and Saurabh are the subjects and going trekking is the verb.
Very good. Here, do you think the sentence is correct?
I don't know, Jeannie.
Here, the sentence looks subject-verb agreement because the use of is in the sentence. We use is for a singular subject. Sentence would be right if it is read as Rustam is going trekking. But because we are talking about both Rustam and Saurabh, we ought to use the plural helping verb are, and the sentence should be Rustam and Saurabh are going trekking. Maria, I have one more sentence for you. Do you can read and explain it?
Sure, let me try. A good book and a hammock is all the entertainment I need. Here the subject is a good book and a hammock, and the verb here is.
You are absolutely right, Maria. Let us look at some more sentences.
The subject here, Ginny, and the verb, I think they don't agree, because as we had discussed, if we are talking about plural subjects, then our helping verb also needs to be plural as well. So I think the correct sentence would be a good book and a hammock are all the entertainment I need. Am I right, Jeannie?
Yes, Maria, you are absolutely right. Let us look at some more sentences, Maria. Here is sentence, Malik like fish. Can you identify the subject and the verb first?
Malik is the subject and like is the verb.
Very good. Do you think the subject and the verb are in agreement?
I'm not too sure. Can I ask my friends?
Sure, Maria.
Jeannie, many of my friends are telling me that the subject and verb are not in agreement. Why is that, Jeannie?
That's because Malik is in third person singular. And when we refer to the subject in the third person singular, we should add an S to the verb. And hence the correct sentence is Malik likes fish. Maria, I have one more question for you. That is, we enjoys horror movies. Identify subject and verb here.
Here we is the subject and enjoys is the verb.
Do you think the subject and the verb are in agreement?
No, they are not in agreement. That's because when we are referring to the subject, which is in the first person plural, we should not add S to the verb. So I think the correct sentence should be, we enjoy horror movies.
Very good, Maria. I have another sentence for you. Either grandpa or my sisters are going to the park. Can you identify the subject and the verb?
Grandpa and sisters are the subject and going is the verb.
Okay. Do you think the subject and the verb are in agreement?
I don't know, Jeannie. But can I ask my friends again?
Sure, Maria.
Jeannie, most of my friends have answered that the subject and verb are in agreement. Are they right?
They are right, Maria.
How is it that they are right?
In a sentence where there are two subjects, the subject which is nearer to the verb affect the verb. In this sentence, my sisters is the nearer subject and it is in plural form. That's why we should be using the helping verb are. I have one last sentence for you, Maria. Either my sisters or my grandpa is going to the park. Can you identify the subject and the verb?
Sisters and grandpa are the subject and going is the verb.
Do you think the subject and the verb are in agreement?
Yes, they are. Because here, since the subject nearer to the verb is in a singular form, that's why we should be using the helping word is.
Okay. Now coming back to the sentence that we started from, using all the things that we have discussed till now, we can see that because there are two subjects here and both doing the same task of reading, the sentence should be read as we are reading. What do you see here, Maria?
This looks like a train.
Yes, the name of the train is Samjhauta Express. Do you know what Samjhauta means?
Samjhauta, I think it means agreement, right?
Yes, you are absolutely right, Maria. This is the train of subject verb Samjhauta. Here, the learners hop from one box to another, and when they are in each box, the teacher reads them a sentence. The learners should then identify if the subject and the verb agree in that sentence and answer accordingly to the teacher. If the answer is right, the teacher will ask the learner to hop forward. If the answer is wrong, then the participant goes back into the previous box.
Wow, this sounds very interesting.
Here is one more activity, Maria. Do you want to know?
Yes, I'm very curious.
This is an activity with lot of visual elements. Here, the learners give the right answers relating to the singular helping verb or plural form of helping verb and use colors and numbers to complete a drawing if and only if the learners get the answers right. Can they color the right boxes and reveal the hidden colorful image?
Wow, this looks like a very colorful activity. Thank you so much, Jeannie, for all these activities. My children will love these activities when I do it in the classroom.
So regarding subject verb agreement, the aspects that we have discussed so far are that we need to look out for 3 elements to make a sentence right. The first is look at the subject of that sentence to make the sentence right. And then look at what that subject is doing. That is the verb or the helping verb. And then look at how many of those subjects are present in the sentence to make your subject and verb agree. Till now, we have discussed about tenses, prepositions, articles, and subject verb agreement.
ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಈಗ ಕೊನೆ ಹಂತಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ನೌ ಕಾಲ್ ಶ್ರೀಯುತ ದಿನೇಶ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರು, ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರು, ಡಯಟ್ ಮಧುಗಿರಿ, ಇವರಿಂದ ವಂದನಾರ್ಪಣೆ.
ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಇಂದು ಜಿಲ್ಲಾ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂವರ್ಧನಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ LPS ಮತ್ತು HPS ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬೋಧನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸವಾಲುಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಪರಿಹರಿಸಬೇಕು, ನಾವು ತರಗತಿ ಕೋಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬೋಧನೆಯನ್ನು ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಚೇತನ HK ಇವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಯಟ್ನ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಕೇರಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಲರ್ಸ್ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರ ವೃಂದದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಉಪನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರ ಕಚೇರಿಯ ಅನುವಾಗಿ ಹೃದಯಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೂ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶುಕೂರ್ ಹೆಚ್ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ, ಇವರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಕೇರಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಲರ್, ಡಯಟ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಉಪನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರ ಕಚೇರಿ ಮಧುಗಿರಿ ಮತ್ತು ತುಮಕೂರು ಎಲ್ಲರ ಸರ್ವರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃದಯಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೃತಿ ಸತೀಶ್, ಇವರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಸರ್ವ ಸಂಘಗಳ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಯಟ್ ಮಧುಗಿರಿ, ಡಯಟ್ ತುಮಕೂರು ಹಾಗೂ ಉಪನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರ ಕಚೇರಿ ಮಧುಗಿರಿ, ಉಪನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರ ಕಚೇರಿ ತುಮಕೂರು, ಕೇರಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಲರ್ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಸೇವಾ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಹೃದಯಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಮೇರಿಯಾ ರಶ್ಮಿ, ಇವರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ತಮ್ಮ ಇಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಸಹ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬೋಧನೆಯ ಮಾರ್ಗಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವರಿಗೂ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಡಯಟ್ ಮಧುಗಿರಿ ಮತ್ತು ಜಿಲ್ಲಾ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂವರ್ಧನಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಹೃದಯಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬೋಧನೆಯನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಥಮಿಕ ಶಾಲಾ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೆ ಸುಲಭೀಕರಣ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ನಮಗೆ ಅನುವು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಂತಹದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಸೇವಾ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೇರಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಲರ್, ಮಾನಸಿ ಕಿರ್ಲೋಸ್ಕರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ, ಇವೆರಡರ ನಮಗೆ ಇವನ್ನ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ತರಬೇತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಯಟ್ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ಡಯಟಿನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರಿಂದ ಹಾಗೂ ಉಪನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರ ಕಚೇರಿಯ ಎರಡೂ ಉಪನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರ ಕಚೇರಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇವೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ನೆರವು ನೀಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಸೇವಾ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರಿಗೂ, ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಹಾಗೂ ಯಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಇವರಿಗೂ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃದಯಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸತತವಾಗಿ ಶ್ರಮಿಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾಟ್ಲಿಂಗಪ್ಪ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಯಟಿನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕ ವರ್ಗದವರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತು ಡಯಟ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಿಗೂ, ತುಮಕೂರು ಡಯಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶ್ರೀಯುತ ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತು ಉಪನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರು ಮಧುಗಿರಿ, ಉಪನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರು ತುಮಕೂರು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ತುಂಬಾ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ದಿನೇಶ್ ಸರ್. ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಈ ದಿನದ ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮುಕ್ತಾಯವಾಗ್ತಿದೆ. ನಾಳೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಿಗೋಣ. ಸ್ಟೇ ಸೇಫ್.